Hello everybody, welcome back to the... I don't know why the timer went over there, what just happened? Ah, because I put in the wrong time. That would do it. Fix that for later. But either way, welcome to the HeroesCCL. Let's get this going. We should have some very fun games today. We've still got a little bit of time on it, and we've got the pre-show for the main stream to go through, but we are ready to get into some action. It's day 2 of the HeroesCCL, and we have some lovely matches coming up for you. Swing, thank you for the 69 bits, which leads me into the, once again, usual reminder that if you enjoy this stream, there are several ways you can help me out. The first and most important way is completely free for starters, and it is to be vocal about this stream on Reddit, on Twitter. Anytime people are talking about HeroesCCL, let people know that this stream exists, an alternate to the main stream, and that if you like my casting, you can be like Dax and drop a subscription. Thank you very much, Dax, for the sub. Very appreciated indeed. You can show your support that way by sharing the stream. It's completely free, and it really does help. With Swig also giving a sub to the community. Congratulations, Brace and Arcade Temerville. Thank you very much for your sub as well. Welcome back, friend. Been a while since I've seen you, friend. But we are getting ready to go. But once again, sharing the stream is the best thing you could do. That is 100% the most helpful thing you can do for this stream. But if you do have a little bit of expendable income, then dropping a subscription or a donation using bits or the donation link below are always welcome. Here is the prize pool breakdown. As you can see here, we're already over $4,000. Also, we're already in a hype train. Good lord, that's done it quick. Good heavens. Good heavens. Well, I never. There we go. That's a good one. You can see they're already doing a pretty good job there. There's also the prize pool where all the players get, I think, $600 per season or something like that. I really can't remember the number, but contributing to the prize pool does help out the players as well. So if you want to support me, that is appreciated. But if you want to support out the players, then head over to the main stream and hit the term donate, exclamation mark donate, or exclamation mark prize pool to show your appreciation over there. My stream appears to be freezing a bit. We'll try and fix that in a moment, but that's what we have going on there. Meanwhile, we are going to have some very fun matchups today. Yeah, we are bleeding a lot of frame rate here. I'm wondering if I can free up some resources to try and allow a little bit of a smoother experience, because I don't want it to be super janky during the games. So let's see if I can free up some resources by closing down some programs. Get that sorted. Use the GX controls, limit my CPU and RAM over here. Alrighty, that'll hopefully make everything a little bit easier and a little bit smoother on the mainstream. Feels good. So, we're going to be jumping in with our Sunday games today. We are starting off with Storm Esports, and they will be playing against Granit Gaming. Our second match for today will be Oxygen Esports, and they will be against the current Icebreaker champions, 30K. 30K, of course, winning the Icebreaker tournament in very solid fashion. Thank you for the 100 bits, Saltisoon. I can't remember, was it Saltigoon or Saltisoon? I do not remember which way round it is. Tier 2 hype train! Choo-choo! You can see here we have our current standings with Simplicity and Wildheart both sitting at the top of the board. 1-0 each, with 3 zeros in both of their series. This does leave Chili Mountain and Onyx, which are currently hidden behind the prize pool, as usual. There's always something hidden behind the prize pool when it comes to the CCL clean feeds. Excuse me. They are at the bottom of the board, 0-3. Chili Mountain with some company down there this year. Looking good. But of course, we will have some people joining up in the wins here. You're from Newcastle, so the pronunciation is impossible for you. Okay, fair enough. I'll take that. I'm sure you're correct. I am sure you are correct. Alrighty. So, general reminders and coverings, once again. Donations and bits are very appreciated. Thank you everyone who's been supporting so far. We have 3 minutes 50 seconds left on our tier 2 hype train, and we're 4% through it. You will hear me silence every now and again when I mute myself. This is because I am literally 3 or 4 days out of surgery, and after having a tube down my throat and anesthetic, I am a little bit gucked up. Killmeister, sorry. Thank you very much for your 100 bits. Oh, hey, you'll join the scam train. Why is it a scam train? Oh, who's scamming? Feels bad. But thank you very much. Choo-choo indeed. It's very appreciated anyway. But I have just come out of surgery. I had my appendix removed because it tried to kill me, and we do not accept insubordination here in the Tetcher body. So that had to be removed. I came straight out of that and immediately started casting. So here we go. That's pretty much. I had 1 day off after surgery and then came to do casting. Anytime I cough or sneeze, it is very painful. Oh, I see. It's because Twitch doing stuff. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Makes sense. Alrighty, so we're going to be getting ready for our first series of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Should be good. So again, we're starting with Storm Esports 67 bits. It all got 2 bits. John Mill, thank you very much for your 67 bits. So we have a look at today's matchups once again. Storm Esports, there's the 2 bits from Killmeister. Storm Esports are one of the newer teams here. They have a very strong looking lineup here. Granit Gaming, they kicked their entire roster at the end of last season, but they came back in already picking up at minimum 3 members of that previous roster, aka all the Swedish players, picking up Skug, Svamgrotta, and Henning as their 3 replaced players. They were able to take Ultralisk, take them away from Sidestep Kings, and then they also picked up Ty from 30k and Fancy Pants, a new player to CCL. That is Granit Gaming's roster, recovering quite a lot of the very strong players from the other CCL teams. Very similar style here being taken by the members of Storm Esports, where they ended up picking up Lauba and getting BBJ due to the fact, hang on, I've hit the wrong button. Yep, no, I hit the right button. Hooray. They picked up BBJ via a trade with 30k. 30k trading away their support here to Storm Esports in exchange for one of their picks. So we have BBJ coming in as one of their main pickups here. Dequaza, a fantastic pickup, was so strong last season as well. If it's French, it comes off the bench. So we have Lauba is insane. BBJ kind of innovated the support scene in CCL at the start of Season 1. IBTings is a player from the Storm Division, the Storm Div team, TF Zugrug, so he played with Legacy from Simplicity. He's a very strong player, very flexible, so that is a really good pickup for them. That gives them a lot of flexibility. And they have CPX as a substitute. CPX started off last season being drafted to Chile Mountain, and after a bit of a rough performance at the start of the season, and a little bit of a rough performance, CPX, and also some controversy, they were dropped by Chile Mountain and were not found for another team for the rest of Season 1. But CPX is back for this season as the 6th player for Storm Esports. Kepi used to be one of the Fatty Pants players on NGS. Yes, they do. Fatty Pants is very strong. We'll get to that once we jump over to the other team. And yes, BBJ did play for Heroes Half during HGC. Hype trade's complete. We hit level 1. We go all the way through level 1 to level 2. Thank you very much for your support. So we move over. Kepi used to be one of the only Korean players in this league, but we have recently had a quick swap where 30k picked up Hyde, which is a fantastic choice. Hyde is amazing. Granit Gaming, on the other hand, we're looking at them. They picked up, once again, their Swedish players with Skug, Svamgrotta, and Henning. Very solid lineup. They're really... Granit Gaming's performance turned around when they got Skug on board as well. So good to see them showing up with that. Ty was the assassin player for 30k, but really struggled to get those games. Okay, we're just not going to get to view that one for as long by the looks of it. Unlucky. So having that is pretty decent. We already have our map bans. Tomb of the Spider Queen going to be coming in here. But yes, you are correct. Fancy Pants has been playing on NGS and has been putting up an insane performance in there. If we have a look at the NGS teams, just so I can give you correct information, Fancy Pants was playing for Fatty Pets was playing for TF Zogrux, the team with Legacy, CPX, and Ivy Tings. So all those players coming in there was a very solid setup. The only player, in fact, from that lineup that was not actually played was Team Freedom Zugrug, which is pretty interesting. Very interesting to see. Alternative ID Jeeves, which is still one of my favorite alternative IDs in the game. So very fun to see. But, of course, TF Zugrug's looking very solid. They just got knocked out in 3rd place of Storm Division, so really showing a good stuff. Storm Division, of course, is down to its final 2. Game is this Thursday, being cast by myself and Crushinator, which should be good, with, I believe, Jixie Cat as an analyst coming over there, so that should be good. That final matchup is going to be Wildheart Esports, which should be a really fun composition for them, and they're going to be against Heavy Impact, a team of actually no drafted CCL players except for Mason Blaze. So we'll get to see if CCL's drafting system maybe is a bit more of a detriment to actually making the best teams, or whether it is an advantage. It's going to be very interesting to see that. So, we're starting off already with a big focus on support bans, taking out Uther and Lucio, with Storm Esports getting rid of Cassia and Kroby right off the bat here. And that is interesting. It means Malfurion is going to be very quickly picked up. Malfurion and Stukov are the go-to high-priority supports, with a little bit of Brightwing priority too. So a big amount of focus onto that, with Malfurion having so much zoning and control, especially on a map like this, where the rotation points are very narrow. And Nubarak for Lauber. And Nubarak seems to be very popular these days. It has massively jumped up in terms of priority of the high-picked tanks. Very fun to see. Excuse me, Granit Gaming. They could try and pick Stukov for a double support here, but I'm not sure Stukov Malfurion is a good combo. They're going to pick up Rexar early with Sonya and Hogger both allowed. They pick up Rexar, which is a counter to Sonya, and Tychus, who is a counter to Hogger. So they're trying to just play around it and try and bully that out this time. Remember, Ty is going to be looking for a little bit of redemption this season. Had a pretty reasonable season at the start of Season 1 for 30k, but seemed to struggle in the later season and ended up having a lot of their games taken by Azerite. As such, we're going to see Ty coming back in for Granite Gaming this year with the full European lineup plus Fancy Pants in the substitution spot. Taking over that mantle from the side of Crowd Control. Going to be taking away the Hogger. That leaves Sonya as the big high priority. That's really, really smart. They're trying to force Storm Esports into either a less optimal offlaner or into Sonya. Sonya loses against Rexar. It's a matchup that Rexar could win really, really hard if it's played efficiently. So they're trying to bully them into that. Very smart. So Storm Esports, knowing that they don't really want to prioritize their offlane right now, they pick Stukov and Sylvanas, and with no cleanse available, immediately we see Kerrigan and Varian. Very burst-heavy CC lineup. The counteraction for that, really, really smart by Storm Esports. They go for Deathwing as the offlane. Very cool to see here. This is smart. They're going to struggle into Rexar no matter what, so bring out that Deathwing means they're not going to be as affected by all this hard CC we see from Granite Gaming. There is a Tychus on the board, though, and Rexar actually does kind of chunk Deathwing, but it's going to be really rough for Kerrigan to deal with. So that is going to be a very interesting matchup. So, we're going to be getting ready to head into game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're as excited as I am. Can I start predictions from this screen? No, I can't. Let's see if I can set up predictions. I've not done that in a while, so let's see if I could do that. I didn't do that yesterday, but I'll see if I could get one up in time before we get too far into it. Oh god, I forgot I set a limiter on the amount of RAM this could use, so it's having a little bit of trouble getting set up, but we'll do it as fast as we can. So we want to start a prediction. There we go. Who will win game 1? We'll set it to a 1-minute period. So, and we'll go from there. So we have Storm and Granite. Okay, you got 1 minute to vote for that, so you'll get a little bit of the first blood in there, potentially. So let's see what you can do. Jigsy Cow, thank you for the 69 bits. Prediction has started as we are getting into the game. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. On the left-hand side, it's Storm Esports. On the right, Granit Gaming. Granit Gaming, the only team to lose to Chili Mountain last season. Let's see if they can make it back. Right now, we have Ultralisk setting themselves up in top lane. See if they can set themselves up for something a little bit early. Maybe a quick early blow-up. We will see. Storm Esports, though. We're starting off. Ooh, old-style ranged Deathwing. Not going to go with that Molten Blood. They're a little bit afraid of the amount of burst damage they'll take quickly, but they're also not going for the protection. Instead, ranged sustain. Dequaza just really wanted to stay at range, or melee. This could very much build into melee Deathwing as well, with the old style of build where you heal yourself with your hard engage and W. Very interesting. Both teams playing safe, though. Neither one looking to step up. IB Tiggs starting on that turret, and Oldcliff not choosing to hard engage, but does clear a minion or two to dissuade Sylvanas away from that as the hard engage comes in. Rexar with the stun over the wall using Misha as Kepi will become first blood. They're going in for another. The follow-up engaging for low, but this is pre-taunt, by the way. Able to find that kill. Nicely done. Reyna once again going with Ace in the hole. They have Sylvanas, which really more than makes up for their wave clear. Rexar starting it off with that Bird of Prey, going for big wave clear early on. Dequaza already down one armor plate. And remember, it's going to have to actually land their poke abilities. BBJ winning the 1v1 versus Kerrigan for now. Just absolute murder melees from that Stukov. And it's a standard grenade-based build for Tychus. Could build into the anti-stun to deal with a Nubarak with that Relentless Soldier later on. There's plenty of flexibility there. BBJ this time stepped up a little too far, but reactive Ballista Pause saving the day. BBJ out of danger. Once there's level 10 available, level 4 available as well, that Bardic Armor is going to make it really hard to kill this Stukov. Reactive Ballista Pause, though. Big saving grace. Lions Moor, once again, this seems to be the go-to for variants these days. And it is a melee Dequaza Deathwing for now. Diving deep onto Svabgrotta. Picks up the kill with the help of Kepi. Very big kill for them right off the bat. Gems are protected, guarded, and eliminated. Very smart play. Sharpened blades coming in. Ty immediately steps up. He wants to try and bully out Dequaza, and that percentage damage really hurts. Mod plate's already down, though. Big heal as they turn onto Skoog. Zoning by Dequaza, but look at the damage they're taking with that melee. That healing is actually no joke, and against multiple front lines. Misha, Kerrigan, potentially Rexar, potentially Tychus due to his short attack range, and that variant means Dequaza is going to get really high healing numbers in these fights. Nubarak, though, not so lucky. He's chased down, slowed out, but gets away. Cutting it very close there. Has gone for a better barbs. Kepi and IB Ting's going to be taking that down. BBJ with the assistants helping them clear that out. That physical armor helping them clear out the Bruiser Camp with a little bit more sustain from that biotic armor. Taunt is now online for Varian. Dequaza not landing the shot. It is full old-style melee Deathwing build this time, and that's really fun to see. We just don't get to see that often these days. But it is still very deadly. Tychus is, of course, going to be focusing this Deathwing, but if Deathwing can keep landing those Ws, might be able to sustain long enough for Sylvanas and Raider to actually get those kills. It's a good start so far for both teams, 1-1, but we are seeing Storm Esports getting a little bit more momentum by the looks of it. Big stun onto IB Tings, but IB Tings able to back away. Ty, big chase down, but eats a large hit and is forced to retreat. Level 7 talents. Leeching Scarabs, despite not having the Legion of Beetles coming in for low, but very interesting. Just maximum self-sustain here. He's gone for Regen Master and Leeching Scarabs, which is just really interesting. It's going to mean he's very sustained. He's going to have to spam out his abilities to make it work, but honestly, that's not the worst situation to be in. Rexar interesting here. I expected them to maybe mix up their builds here, but they've still gone for the stun cooldown reduction. I was half expecting them to go for the auto-attack style of build to just farm attacks off that Deathwing, pull in onto an Uberak who's tanking through, but he gets out. Lauber is tanking really hard in these fights, really putting on quite the show, but you can see that it is becoming a little bit sketch, just how easy it is to try and blow up this Uberak. It's going to become even easier as the game goes on. Massive stun from Grotta onto Kepi, trying to punish them out. We're going for backline murder style from Sylvanas, Knight of the Banshee Queen, and the Festering Wounds as opposed to the Lost Souls. Festering Wounds is the dive strat, Lost Souls is the long-range poke stat. Tychus going with full grenade build, melting point quarterback. Not going to go with that Relentless Soldier to try and avoid any of that CC. Instead, maximum poke and maximum wave clear. Big charge onto Raider, into the combo from Kerrigan. It's a fantastic blow-up. Loba is forced to roll away. BBJ retreats away from Skoog, but Skoog picking up the kill there. Very nicely done, Dequaza. Still pressuring Svabgrotta in the bot lane. 23 gems currently in hands of Svabgrotta. Holding on nicely. Both teams have more than enough for a turn-in, but it's going to be Granit Gaming who get the first turn-in of this game number 1. Storm Esports looking to be the first of the 2 new teams in CCL to get a win on the board, but Loba barely surviving. Bio kill switch, keeping them alive. Might not be so lucky for Ivy Tings. He's forced to back away, but Taunt not off cooldown yet, able to get away. They get out of danger. Webby was arriving. Ultralisk really stacking up those sharpened blades. Ultralisk was such a prolific Kerrigan last season. Great to see them back on it. And picking up the Ultralisk, of course. We have Boars, Commandeer, Odin. On the other side, level 10 is here. Ultralisk chased down. The stun from the Ultralisk. Cocoon comes down as well. And that's going to allow Ultras to get away, but now it's Varied in a little bit of trouble. Stun 1 comes out. Counter taunt, percentage damage from time melts through Lauber, but Lauber gets away. It's the bigger they are. You can see that huge damage coming out. Pop as many of Deathwing's armor plates as possible in one go, and also melt Lauber as Twilight Dream is the last heroic pickup for Granit Gaming. On the other side, Bellowing Roar, we've already seen Wailing Arrow double silences. We've already seen the Cocoon. It's going to be a massive shove, and it's a Raider's Raider. It's going to be really useful for them here. A little bit of extra vision, a little bit of extra scouting. Actually makes a lot of sense here. Keeps them safe. Turn-in is concluded, and we end up with most of the front walls heavily damaged, and top lane taking a minor amount of damage. Could be worse, actually. They hold that pretty effectively. Big charge. Lauber in a little bit of trouble, takes a lot of damage, but is able to stun out Malfury. They're diving deep. Lauber's going to give his life, and also his gems. Kepi steps forward, going to try and grab him. BBJ gets the majority of them, but now Kepi is in danger, turns it round and kills off Ultralisk though, but he gets popped in the end. Ivy Tig's coming in, Cataclysm across the board to try and turn that that fight in their favor, but they can't do so. They're chasing down a Tychus with a Deathwing. The kiting is too good. Turn-in not concluded, but a lot of those gems were just rescued by BBJ. Good interruption by Dequaza, who's now very deep, trying to take out Svabgrotta. There's 32 gems in control here as Ty melts through that Deathwing with the bigger they are. That's still going to be enough for the turn-in though. IB Tiggs sneaks it in. And Lauber is back, so is Kepi. This is Storm Esports' chance to get themselves back into this game. They're not too far behind at this point. Gonna set themselves up for their push. Looks like mid lane is going to be the lane of choice of bot lane. A little bit pushed out as well. Deathwing heals back up to full. They're gonna split their attention here. Ivy Tiggs in mid lane, pushing up. Has to unstable poison for maximum wave clear. Might not have any wave clear left though if they're dead. Ivy Tiggs taken out. Gems mostly recovered by Lauber. But that's a big kill. These variant engages so strong. The counter engage coming in slow into the lurking arm, trying to set up the kill onto Skoog. They're still chasing it very deep. Stun from Kerrigan does not land. Root into sleep though, and Loba's in serious trouble. Tags through. They burn the cocoon out in this case. Dequaza comes all the way up. Ty just going to try and turn this fight around, but Dequaza coming out ahead in terms of DPS. Forces the retreat. We see the slow Qs coming in for Tychus as well. Full ability power build here. Plate is destroyed by the melting point of Tychus. Remorselessness coming in for Sylvanas. That's interesting. Really mixing up the build here. Remorselessness, of course, gives you Withering Fires every couple auto attacks. Those Withering Fires do apply Banshee's Curse, but normally you would see Wind Runner at this level to reset that festering wounds. In this case, it does look like they're just going for long range, not wanting to dive in deep against that variant. They're just going for maximum range and poke, not even using Withering Fire as an escape, just as an engage. Warbringer and Juggernaut coming in for the variants. And that cooldown reduction on that charge. As an Uberak comes in with a Burrow charge, looking for Ultralisk here. That is a great kill onto the Chrysalis, but Ultralisk still tanking through. Loba's down. The Ultralisk bought some time, and Ultralisk themselves gets out of danger as Skoog chases down Kepi. Torn about to come off cooldown as Kepi tries to stay at range. Good knockback, but into the sleep. That was great by Heading, and Granit Gaming are absolutely snowballing through. Skoog looking for it, lands the slow, lands Lions Ball, but here IB Tings gets out of there. Very nicely done, but using that cooldown reduction from that charge, from that Warbringer, combining it with Juggernaut. 3 to 4%, I believe it's 4% percentage damage on each charge. Let's be very sticky, and it's really good for, you know, doing percentage damage, killing Deathwings. And that's the play here. We already saw the value of the Chrysalis coming out of Kerrigan. Able to keep her nice and sustained and just getting out of that fight in time. Dive comes in with Cataclysm, but they are being kited out. Even with all that dive, the escape from Granit Gaming, the positioning too good. Taking control. The overkill upgrade for extra range and extra slows for Tychus, affecting everyone except Deathwing, of course, but this will be comboed with the armor-piercing rounds, which will affect Deathwing. They could still go for the Sicilian attacks, and it wouldn't be the worst play for them. But no, armor-piercing rounds. Banner of Dalaran, actually going to combo of that very well, and of course with Kerrigan. Another turn-in, 3 turn-ins for Granit Gaming. They're snowballing these together. An Uberak burning Beetles. A little bit of extra wave clear, a little bit of extra damage. Lauber forced to burrow away. Doesn't want to take any risks yet. Sorry, this was the turn-in for Storm Esports. I got it mixed up there. So it's 2-2 right now. Gonna push their way in forward. Storm Esports really need some forts here. They're very far behind. Super Strain for that Stukov. Elementium Plating for the Deathwing, so we can dive forward. The Chrysalis does expire. Was trapped in the lurking arm. The Dark Wave from the Webweaver picks up the kill as they look for Malfurion. They don't land the combo, but they easily have enough damage. They get themselves a fort. Ty was dueling with Deathwing, is forced to retreat and burn the Odin. The Odin was used as a flank here, but instead won't find anything to use for Wave Clear. Cataclysm over the wall. They are really chasing down Ty here, trying to cut off the escape. This fort has not died yet, meaning Daquan is actually in the wrong neighborhood, but they're still going to try and chase him down, using the Raiders Raider and BBJ to kill off the fort as they turn Kepi and onto Ty. That's a great lurking arm, and we will say goodbye to Ty. Storm Esports picking up the kill. Boss started by Loba and IB Tings using those Beetles to tank a lot of these shots. Deathwing gonna land, he's at full health. That will give a little bit of relief over to Loba. You can see them trading aggro back and forth. As Granit Gaming, they're just setting up and waiting for their time. They're 3 gems away from a turn-in. They don't want to get themselves caught out. Still 15 gems needed for Storm Esports. They got 3 forts. They actually come out of this ahead, getting the forts, getting the kills. They're still behind in kills, but they're ahead in experience. Now they've got the boss as well. This is going very heavily in favor of Storm Esports now. Massive shove. BBJ able to keep Kepi safe. Kepi, for those of you who do not know, Korean player coming to prominence after the advent of HGC, played with TTST and Hyde and players like that, some of the best players, Kyoto as well, some of the best players to ever grace our game, one of the top ranked players on the Korean server, and has now been playing on the American side after originally substituting for Team Alexander in Storm Division a couple times last season. Has really shown up and has really been playing absolutely amazingly. So Kepi coming in has been putting on a great performance. And they've made their way into CCL now as the only initially drafted Korean player. Hyde has now joined them. And they seem to be in their first debut main season game. Putting on quite the performance. Gonna make their way forward. Set themselves up to see if they can get yet more buildings. They've already got all the fours. They're now looking for keeps. All the lanes are pushed up. This is great news for Storm Esports. Granit Gaming now on the back foot, looking to defend. Let's see what they can do. Gonna wave clear away. Defend, good stun by Ultralist. There's the Ultralist charge and Twilight Dream Bird. Wailing Arrow traded out for it. Both teams needing a couple silences, but that is Loba absolutely removed from these fights. Rexar is clearing out mid. Kerrigan makes their way to top, meaning this is still, though, even after that kill, a 3 versus 4 in favor of the members of Storm Esports. But with the Web Weaver already dead, their push kind of ends here. Level 20 is hit. Stood in the fire for Dayquaza. He's going to take to the sky. Not going to try and burn a Cataclysm. Push comes to shove. Bolt of the Storm. I'm going to see that Duskwing for Reyna. Very, very cool. And Nubarak going for the armor activation. This talent actually not picked that often. It's almost always rewind for the Anubarak, so we don't get to see the Traitor King that often. This of course gives him 10% bonus maximum health and 20 spell armor permanently, and he activates to gain 75 armor for 4 seconds. With this game, that's pretty sensible. That extra armor could be huge here, but that 20 passive spell armor also going to be really good against the poke style of Tychus. On the other side, though, level 20 is hit as well. Malfurion keeping everything sustained. Deathwing lands behind the base, making sure that everyone is protected and sustained. Malfurion with that life bloom. 10% missing health. Big dive. Trying to focus Kepi. They get it, but the Wailing Arrow hits basically the entire team. Dayquaza trying to tank through, but that's such a quick blow-up. Exactly what Granit Gaming have been doing all game. They now have that glory to the Alliance, keeping them all very sustained as they make their way forward. Kill command for Massive Roots. Big red button. They're trying to end here and now. Loba trying to tank through. Gets 75 extra armor as Cataclysm comes across the fight to try and cut off the Web Weavers and buy them some more time. Dayquaza is deep, eating a lot of damage, but he's buying the time they need. He's not dying, and that's the important part here. Dayquaza able to tank through, buy them the time they need. Ultralisk was thinking about trying to dive Loba, but Ivy Tiggs is there. They still want it. Burrow Charge has to be used, but Skook looking to maybe dive onto the keep, decides against it, but that's yet another keep in serious trouble. Deathwing gonna re-land. Ready to engage. Stun onto Ivy Tiggs. Skook choosing not to dive deep. The root from Malfurion does not land. The keep survives. Armor plate burned through by Tychus there. But that's gonna be Granit Gaming getting the first keep of the game. They claim control. Massive amounts of gems being turned in here. 27 still being held. 53 gems total. Grabbing themselves the siege camp. Putting on little bits of extra pressure each time. The Reyna's Raider really getting some value here just for vision. The vision game in Heroes of the Storm is very important, especially when you're against a very burst-heavy team like the team of Granit Gaming here. So keeping that map awareness on, very smart. Rexar doing the same thing with Misha, checking the boss. Misha is less expendable than the Raider, but it's still a really good tool for scouting. Misha will be back a lot quicker than Rexar will be. Big stun, counter stun, Ultralisk, full combo. Loba trying to take root, silenced, but he's holding. Loba survives. They cross with the Cataclysm, cut off the escape. That's going to be the fear. Onto Variant, they can try and turn their attention onto Skook here. Loba is tanking, he's holding. Kerrigan's going to pop out as healthy as she can be. She's able to Chrysalis again to try and stay alive. Comes out the Cocoon into the Chrysalis, and she's trying to leap to freedom, but it's a 2, make it 3 for 0 here. Storm Esports taking that fight, and they're going to look to try and take the game here. But look at that fight. Cataclysm directly across. Misha dies. Ultras teleports away, but wants to go back in for Loba. They're all trying to get to Loba, but that Cocoon turns that fight on its head. BBJ and Ivy Tiggs are deep in enemy backlines, causing chaos, causing pressure, and finding kills. Ivy Tiggs able to run down Tychus and find that kill. In the end, that's going to be game number 1, going over to Storm Esports in this best of 5 series. They are able to take the lead, the first of our new 2 teams to find a victory. Granit Gaming starting off looking very strong, but they're not able to claim victory. Very solid job. Very solid job by Storm Esports, putting on a fantastic show, a fantastic performance in this series number 1. In the Icebreaker tournament, Storm Esports, they were able to make it all the way to the finals. And as such, there's a lot of expectation for this team. They beat out Onyx, and they beat out this team, Granit Gaming, in a 2-0, and got 30k to a 3-2. Coming second eventually. They really are they showed themselves in the qualifiers, the Icebreaker, sorry, to be one of the best teams. They now just have to keep that momentum going. IB Tings really topping the damage numbers here, but that's due to the fact that they were a little bit safer, that build working out very well in their favor. Kepi, actually the most deaths on the team, not actually that surprising because they were focused a lot and Raider's mobility is a lot less than IB Tings. Loba was focused quite a few times, but really escaped so many times. A lot of that was really due to the great saving of BBJ there. On the other side, heading, healing massively, but those roots didn't feel maybe as impactful as you would maybe hope from a Malfurion here. They landed some fantastic ones, but the mobility of the members of Storm Esports and that Deathwing being able to just walk over them was fantastic. And Ubrak escaping a couple times as well made it a little bit difficult to really get the maximum value there. The Kerrigan looking solid, but that Deathwing, turns out, even though it got melted by the Tychus, turned out to be an absolute masterstroke, giving Kerrigan just so many issues, getting right up in her face and doing too much damage to deal with. Very fun. Very solid. Game number 1 to Storm Esports. Looking good. If we have a look at their statistics, in previous games, they very heavily lent on that Anubarak. 5 games on Anubarak, 80% win rate with that Anubarak. Malfurion, they liked quite a lot as well. They really liked that Sylvanas too. Sylvanas, 66% win rate. Same with Malfurion. They didn't get the Malfurion this time, but it still worked out very well in their favor. Showing that they are leaning quite heavily on this Anub, though. Loba very happy to be picking that up. We're going to be getting ready to jump into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Prize pool nearly at $5,000 already. Sorry about my hair. There will be a haircut for it coming this Friday on the 7th. I'm going to be getting a haircut to try and fix this mop. Going to be embracing the mold, but not going to go full bald. But I'm going to definitely embrace the receding a bit and try and deal with it that way. So we should have some fun matchups coming up here. Granit Gaming trying to make their way back into this series. They have been leading on Malfurion very heavily so far. Malfurion is their most played hero this season. So far, not working out in their favor in this game. They have a 50% win rate with it, but we'll see if they're able to turn that round and get a little bit more in their favor. We have our map number 2 for this best of 5 series. It is going to be Infernal Shrines. I disagree, Dax. You are a good-looking lad. You're so hot when you're part wolf. Alrighty, we have Infernal Shrines as our next map, chosen by Storm Esports, meaning Granit Gaming, once again, opted for first pick and first ban. Feeling good, feeling good. Remember, everybody, we still have another series coming up after this. It will be Oxygen Esports. Ah, yes, prediction results. Thank you for the reminder. I would have forgotten. Choose prediction. Storm Esports, 85% of you voted for Storm Esports, and you were right. Storm Esports, complete prediction. Boom. Prediction complete. And I will prep the second prediction in advance. Who will win game 2? Granit or Storm? Alrighty. And I'll start that at the end of the draft once again. Give it a minute. And you'll have plenty of time to implement your votes. Thank you, Majesty, for your recommendation. I would have 100% completely forgot. Excuse me. So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into map number 2 very shortly once the players are all set up. If we have a look at some of those priority picks for these two teams, Storm Esports, if we look at high priority heroes on this map, Sylva's still very reasonable, so is Tychus. Going to be pretty good for them. They play a little bit of Hanzo, and Korean Hanzos are very, very scary. So seeing that could come into play. Once they get those piercing arrowheads, could really help them out. Leoric is a reasonable pickup for them. All of their offlaners, in fact, look pretty good. They've got Leoric, they've got Malthael, they've got Sonya. They have so many options. That Deathwing was pretty good and would really work out. On the other side, Falstad, it's a pretty good map for global soaking. Can help out quite nicely. As Franz Beck, thank you very much for your follow. Feels good. Can't bet channel points on predictions. Not available in your region. You live in Sweden. Maybe why? Yeah, I'm going to guess it's probably due to anti-gambling stuff, even though there's no real money involved. But it makes sense. You can technically still spend channel points on stuff. So I guess that technically counts as a currency. So I get it. I get it. Granit Gaming. First pick, first ban. Sticking with their guns, they're going to ban out the Lucio. Lucio with Cleanse has just kind of been dunking everything these days. That high five is really insane. Chromie as the counteraction ban. Uther taken out of action. Reminder, if you're watching this game, if you're watching these games on YouTube, you can support this channel by dropping a subscription. Subscribe to Tetcher. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Working our way up there. Very nearly there. Make sure to tune into Stormwatch every Tuesday. And you can show your, if you want to show your support a little bit extra, there are donation links in the description. And also, you can hit that join button by just below the YouTube video so that you can show your support that way. Get access to polls and little community messages that I give people. And show a little bit of love that way. Very appreciated. As Hogger is going to be first pick for Granit Gaming. There's a good map for Hogger. Every single objective has, if not a permanent bounce point, has a very close to permanent bounce point. D.Va as the counteraction here. D.Va into Hogger isn't the worst matchup. Hogger actually, if he goes for his grenade, if easy throw dynamite build, actually has a really good matchup into D.Va because they could stack off her really easily because her auto attacks slower attack speed. But that does require you to go full dynamite builds, which isn't always the best choice. Anduin coming in as well. Malfurion has been very heavily leaned on by Granit Gaming. Is there a YouTube link not filled in the bio part? I know the option is there since I used it yourself. Ah, I don't have a command for the YouTube. I will make a command for the YouTube. I thought there was a YouTube link in the bio. My bad. I will make sure I fix that. It's youtube.com/Tetcher. I have my custom link, so that's where you find it. I'll make a command later. I don't have one yet. Tychus on the board. Taking it away. It's a good counter to the Hogger. Focus the tank. Thank you very much for the follow. Storm Esports now. What do they want? There's a Hogger. There's percentage damage probably to deal with that. Main tanks have been prioritized. They're going to pick up the ETC here. Very interesting. So far, everyone on the side of Granit Gaming has an interrupt for potential mosh pits. It's a risky pickup here. Sylvanas, we already talked about it. It's a big lean on by Storm Esports so far this season. See what they can do. Holy Cow 2.0. All you have to do is to wait until level 20 to get the Holy Cow 2.0. Kerrigan once again. They're heavily leading on Kerrigan for Ultras here. Kerrigan is a fantastic Ultras is a fantastic Kerrigan, good lord. With Diablo as the main engage here. This is also a fantastic map for Kerrigan. Easy shrine clear. And Mephisto, whittle them down, work them out, just melts them with that harassment from Mephisto. It's a solid pickup here. Storm Esports, they draft a little bit more standard. Granit Gaming still very heavily leading onto that Kerrigan. Kerrigan and Malfurion definitely seem to be their two high priority picks here. We'll see if they can turn that into a victory. Let me start the prediction. You have 1 minute to vote, Storm or Granit, for game number 2. Predictions starting now. Good luck, have fun, everybody. I wish you luck in your voting and your not gambling. Remember, everybody, if you're enjoying this stream today, you can show support to me by dropping a subscription or a donation with the link below or via bits in the chat. It's all very solid ways to support me. And you can also support me by buying yourself some games. I don't promote this one as much, but if you look below the stream, you'll find links to the Humble Store and to Humble Bundles. If you use my affiliate link to buy stuff from the Humble Store or Humble Bundles, you get cheaper games. In the bundles, you can support charity, and I get a bit of a kickback. So you don't pay any extra money, and sometimes you save money from what you would get on Steam, and you can get yourself some games while supporting one of your favorite creators and sometimes charity. Dax, thank you for gifting our subs to the community as we are jumping in. Ashmantle, OMG, it's Thomas. Hi, Thomas. Doug the Pug, that's a great name. Midera 4224 and Mahmud K. Mahmud K. Thank you very much for the gifted subs. Dax, congratulations all of you on your subscriptions. Let's get this going. On the left-hand side, Storm Esports, you can take this game to a 2-0 block party for that ETC to counteract the Kerrigan and the Hogger, and in some way, Diablo. I'm going to go Renew for that Anduin here. Granit Gaming, they're starting off once again with that Emerald Dream. Skoog. Gonna go with Feast on Fear. Very solid for the auto-attack build, which is still the better. Everything else? Actually, no, not everything else pretty sad. They're gonna try and get Kepi there. Perfectly timed on the overpower. I'm gonna see that again quickly, because it's always a nice little interaction to see. We'll get the start of that right at the start of the game here. Keep an eye on that, on Kepi there, as they get a huge amount of damage output. In the main game, there's a little bit of harassment coming in there. Look at Kepi. Steps forward. Tries to punish. Tries to harass. Steps a little bit too far forward. And with the teleport, perfectly timed. That is a play you can do. If you flip over at the perfect moment, you can get Mephisto as they return to their main point. That's why you see a lot of Diablos try to do it. It's a frame-perfect play coming in there from Skoog. Gonna see the focus onto the siege camps by the side of Granit Gaming early. Storm Esports not going to be starting off with theirs. So yeah, we're seeing with the Hogger. I talked about that, not going for the main builds here. We usually would see a lot of Hogger players these days going with the extra health regen that On the Prowl offers. In this case, they're going with Bones to Gnaw. This is the old style of Hogger play. It gives you a little bit of extra meat, so double the amount of meat you get as you spawn one on the ground when you stroke out your loot horde and one when your loot horde is destroyed. In this case, you get that extra healing output, which can really help you sustain on the lane, but you also get 10 armor each time you eat the meat. Very good for sustaining against these burst compositions. They try to focus onto Kepi. This time Kepi isolated and killed off. Skoog is relentless in these kills. Finding the power. Spite picked up for the Mephisto. No surprise there. Anduin going for a W-based build here with that Mortal Compass. See if that works out for them. We see a little bit of that these days, but we're seeing a lot of Holy Reach as well. With that Moral Compass coming in there. Maybe building into a full W build. I'm always a big fan of that. We'll have to see. D.Va standard build here. Diablo full auto attacks. It's going to be another bigger they are for Tychus here. Hogger, of course, with the aggro range. We already knew that was going to be the case as the Bruiser Camp is picked up. You can see Hennig helping out Svemgrotta. This is actually a really hard map to get the good bounce angle for the Bruiser Camp. So as such, assistance for Hoggers on the Bruiser Camp is actually really important. It's not the easiest map to find the angle on. You have to use your loot hoard to get the maximum value, and that's a whole ordeal, and you don't actually finish it with the loot hoard. Help is always appreciated. Head start coming in for Storm Esports here. Kerrigan and Mephisto, currently the ones off soaking here. Good dodge by Svemgrotta. They try to turn onto Loba. Leap of Faith has to be used. Boundless energy for Ultralisk here. Trying to poke down Kepi. Not enough. Seeing red for Svemgrotta. Going with that extra cooldown reduction. Wants to drop that Hog Wild as often as possible. Get that extra attack speed. Svemgrotta kind of trapped away from base here, but there is that Hog Wild escaping danger. Same build again for IB Tigs, and that will be the first objective. Going over to Storm Esports. They're going to be able to push in. And we are seeing a lovely little full W build, a Divine Star build for the Anduin. I love this build. That's a big stun. Self-destruct from the Diva. Loba is trying to block off the escape of Svemgrotta, and Ty eating the damage. Kepi getting very close to finding the kill there. No kills acquired, though. Stun onto Skoog. They're disabling the fort with black arrows, but this will not be any kills going over to Storm Esports, despite a very ambitious engage from that Diva. Fort goes down, but the Punisher will be cleared out before anything else is taken. But Quasar, what a show. Svemgrotta sees this is happening, not going to do anything about it. Not worth the dive, not worth the invade. Skoog and Ty, though, they will come over the wall and try to take it. Cheeky bit of percentage damage from Quasar as they charge on past there. Very nicely done. Going to murder their way through as much of this Bruiser Camp and Siege Camp and Miniwave as possible. Granit Gaming. A bit on the defensive, but still looking aggressive as they can. Trying to force mistakes out here. That power word shield for Anduin going to make him a little bit safer from that Diablo. Blessed Recovery would have also been a good option here. Binding Heal, less likely. We're going to see a Light Bomb. Big CC chains, no salvations. Good job. Salvation would have been absolutely terrible here. Twilight Dream, Apoc, Hogger, Kerrigan with Ultralisk. There's just no way. No way you would have got value out of that. We've seen the Durance of Hate, Wailing Arrow, and this is probably going to be a mosh pit game. There's a lot of CC, but you have as much CC yourself. There's the mosh. The sleep delays it, though. It puts it on the full cooldown, but Kerrigan is still blown up. The light bomb does not land. But even with that split second of mosh, it held Kerrigan in place long enough that the kill is secured by Storm Esports. 1 kill to 1 right now. It's actually their first kill on the board here. Doesn't land the overpower in time. It's really hard to time. Ty. A little bit of damage onto Quasar, traded out for some micro missiles, but Ty comes out ahead. Big power slide, but again, the root of the sleep. Somehow Loba did not get rooted there. Malfurion's roots are about as just insanely nebulous. I was going to say about as nebulous as the Andromeda Galaxy, but I don't actually know if that's a nebula. So I'm not going to, that joke, take it with a grain of salt. I am not an astrologist or an astrologist. I can't remember what the other one is. It's astrology and astronomy? I don't remember. One of them's rubbish. The one that's about star signs and stuff. As Quasar finds Ultralisk up here. I probably enraged a bit of the audience there as we see the Bruiser Camp being picked up by Storm Esports. Objective in the middle lane, meaning a reaction may have to be forced. It is actually a galaxy and not a nebula. See, I don't really know what a nebula is other than like a video streaming service. So I wasn't sure if it was like another name for something. Like if it was inside something else, I did not know. I don't actually know what a nebula is. I think like a nebula is something to do with a star. It's a type of star, but I don't actually know. Like I said, I'm not a schooler. So we're going to be seeing the shrine activating. Head start going to be taken here by Granit Gaming. Larva creeping forward, looking for Skoog. Nebula is a gaseous formation in space, a place where stars can be born. Neat! I have been educated, and so have you, chat. Googled. Feels good. Space is cool, fam. I don't know a huge amount about it, but space is cool. We're going to be seeing those level 13 talents coming in here. We're once again seeing Remorselessness for that Sylvanas standard ETC build. Big charge from Diablo into the APOC, but Leap of Faith pulls him out. Durant hits Hogger. Hogger blocking it here. Twilight Dream comes out. Self-destruct. Gonna ease Skoog, who's tagging as best he can. Light Bomb lands and picks off Ultralisk, who's trying to retreat, using the objective to shield themselves and get out. But Kepi is melting everyone. That's the objective going over to Storm Esports, as Ty is going to be forced to retreat out, barely staying alive. That's going to be Storm Esports grabbing yet another Punisher. It's a frozen Punisher, and ooh, that's going to be the kill. The final auto attack of Imptix, able to chase down Hogger and find the kill. Meantime, Dayquaza keeping the lanes de-pushed. So it's actually only pushing in with 3 members here. Just pushing in for extra value, but also making sure that they split so can get value. Granit Gaming, they were looking for something. Skoog tried to dive it, doesn't find anything. Shard of Hate, by the way, for that Mephisto. A little bit of extra wave clear, but more importantly, cooldown reduction, activating that Lord of Hatred, that trait. Every time you pick up regen globes, and of course every time you auto-attack heroes, gives you massive CDR on your basic abilities, which with your main ability damage coming from your Lightning Nova, gives you insane DPS output. Very, very effective. Neosteel plating for Diablo. You're against the Mephisto. Makes sense. Does mean you can also build into sizzling attacks and try and melt the cow that way. Hogger doing Hogger things. Hogger's so good at clearing mercenary camps for exactly that reason. Cruelty for Diablo. This might be a game where usually you'd go for the second shadow charge, but this might be a game where it's just worth taking the second overpower charge. Will of the Forsaken for Sylvanas. Ty dodging the power slide. Will eat the Wailing Arrow as they chase forward, but the root shuts it down. Diva finds Malfurion, but it's nowhere near going to be enough for a kill there as Hennig will back away. Dayquaza eats a lot of damage. Noshbit with the Endurance of Hate, completely cutting them out, also overlapping the CCs there, but it's still more than enough to pick up the kill for them. Divert power for the Diva. There's just a big lead extending out here for Storm Esports. Looking for more even. They're going to try and get onto Spam Grota. Chasing him down. Hogwild expires. Good root from Hennig. Ultralisk. Wombo. Combo. Dead ETC. Self-destruct is burned though. And that's going to be the retreat. But it does make that a 1-for-1 trade. Big flank from Ultralisk. Turning that in their favor. Hogger coming through. Doesn't land the slow though. Level 16 to 16 now as Granit Gaming just hit level 16. They have that headbanger, that percentage damage for Hogger now. They do go with that Shadow Charge reset on Overpower. Trying to find Kepi as he rotated through. Smart play. Not able to find it though. Instead, with 3 seconds left until ETC, it's a bit of a rough play to try and dive that. So they will back up, but they did scout to see if it was happening, see if it was a hard engage opportunity to find a kill. They find nothing. Instead, they retreat back to their own siege, their own bruiser camp. Now Furion even grabbing a fountain while he can. Topping up, making sure that they are fully sustained. And ready to take on the next fight. Titan Grenade for Tychus. Not going to go with sizzling attacks. Getting cooldown reduction on that grenade. A little bit of extra percentage damage that way. Smart by Dayquaza. He didn't go for the hard engage there, but he still used his Q just in case Ultras jumped on to make sure that she would already be knocked off the point. And that way they could guarantee controlling at that bruiser camp and wouldn't have it stolen. Head start taken by Granit Gaming. Diva not here yet. Kepi able to steal one. Hogger, this isn't a perfect bounce angle. You can see he loses it there. There is no perfect bounce angle on this objective. Durance onto the Hogger, has to Horner bolt out, but that's a two-man mosh pit. Apoc will interrupt him, but Livebomb still able to one-bonus CC to get a Twilight Dream, silences them out, but in the backline, Sylvanas getting murdered by Ultras, but good power slide for the turnaround. That will be a dead Ultras. Actually able to Chrysalis, buying some time here. Ultras still alive, pulling him in, gets the shield, but does go down. Trains out the mech for it though, as Ty is losing a lot of health. Malfurion trying to heal him up. Ty sidesteps the Skull Lightning as they will retreat. It's a 1-0. The mech going down. The only thing on the side of Storm Esports, Granit Gaming, losing out that Kerrigan. Very fun fight. Very messy from start to finish for these teams here. You can see the chase back in, the power slide onto Kerrigan, isolating her, the route to protect her. She tries to turn around, gets one more shield, but it's a simple kill coming in from a minion by the looks of it, but Sylv doing the majority of the damage to finish the job. Ty barely sidestepping that Skull Lightning to avoid the full kill. As we get back into the game. Objective at 39, so Storm Esports know they have a lot of time. They're going to start on every camp that is available. They already got the enemy siege camp. They're now getting bot siege camp and their own siege camp. And then they'll be able to finish the objective and push as 5. ETC up to top lane, though. Are they going to push as 5? Looks like they're going to wait this out a little bit longer. Buy themselves a little bit of extra time. Very interesting. Punisher is picked up. Apoc comes out, Ultra Leap of Faith. Wailing Arrow is burned onto that Kerrigan. The attempt to dive past, that was interesting. Skook dodging the Punisher by attacking it. Very fun to see. Level 20 is available for Storm Esports. Bot of the Storm ×2. Light Bomb denied by the root. Nicely done. Diablo, though, is going to eat the Punisher one more time. Twilight Dream, Kerrigan pull, but Skoog is going to fall in this fight. Glyph of Faith coming in, self-destruct, as they have to use the Horner Bolt to get out of danger. Ty is now the furthest one forward, first step in this fight. Not enough souls to bring back Diablo, as we're seeing Storm Esports pushing in for game number 2. One-man mosh pit, more than enough. Durance of Hate for the follow-up, picks up the kill as they chase their way forward. Sven Grutter is trying to delay, trying to deny, trying to distract, but has nothing left. It's all down to Ultras, but Ultras has nothing, is able to tap a fountain, but there's nothing they can do about this. They're able to bait up Loba, but the core shall fall. Game number 2 goes over to Storm Esports, putting them up 2-0 in this best of 5 series. Storm taking a very solid lead here. Looking strong in this first series of the day. Looking really strong, quite frankly. Let's choose our results. 71% of you went for Storm this time. A little bit less than last time, but Storm looking much stronger, I would argue, this game. Here are your results. Oh, we have a spinny circle. Hopefully nothing broke. Storm Esports, 50k damage on that Mephisto. Absolutely melting, but 49 still on Sylvanas, keeping up quite nicely. Tychus Ty trying to keep up, but did get bullied out a little bit there. 38k, it was zoned away a lot. And ETC, only 1 death. 2 deaths total, in fact. 1 on Kepi, 1 on Lauber. I hope those spinny circles aren't going to become a problem. Are you going to be a problem for me there, friends? Or are you going to just let me do my job? I hope you're going to let me do my job. We're going to assume it's fine. And assume there are no problems. And that everything is fine and under control. F indeed. Big F. So, we're going to be seeing a 10 kills to 2. F to pay respects. F to pay respects. Feels bad. Everything is fine. We haven't dropped any frames. It's the clean feed. It happens. We Gucci. But seriously, 10 kills to 2 at the end of that game. Such a massive lead to the side of Storm Esports. Looking ready to close out this series already. Remember, this is only our first game of the day. Our second game will be at 30k versus Oxygen Esports. Excuse me. Plenty of opportunity for that. Mainstream will be going on its break right now, so we can spend that time to look at statistics. In terms of these matches so far, we've had some pretty solid stuff here. Yep, there's the breaks that they're setting up. We're not going to do that. We do not need a break. Everything is fine. I'm in a little bit of pain, but otherwise everything is good. So here's a reminder of what we have going on today. Yesterday we cast Onyx versus Simplicity and Wildheart Esports versus Chili Mountain. Simplicity and Wildheart. Spoilers, if you don't want to listen here, then close off your ears for the next 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Simplicity and Wildheart were able to win out in 3-0s. Give time for people to get back in. And of course, today we are covering currently Storm Esports versus Granit Gaming 2-0, currently in favor of Storm Esports, looking good. Granit Gaming a little bit on the back foot, the team that came next to last in last season. Going to be trying to make their way back and show an improved performance. Oxygen Esports versus 30k will be next. 30k who won the Icebreaker tournament, putting on an insane performance, looking good. They've had some great off-season stuff. And Oxygen, they are looking very strong. They looked strong last season. They had a massive undefeated streak all the way up to week 5. So week 1 to 4, they were undefeated in terms of series. The only team to not drop any series. They looked really, really insane. But can they replicate that as they went out in round number 1 of the Icebreaker tournament? Unable to really keep up there, seeming to struggle a little bit. Have to see if they can bring that back. We just had some Heroes noises. All right, cool. Everything is good. Gonna make a cup of PG tips. You want some? I'm not really a fan of hot drinks. I'll take some iced tea if you got any. I do like the taste of tea. It just has to be cold. Mute stream for spider protections. Can't hear when it's safe to up the volume again. Spider protection. You are safe. I said you could do it for like 5 seconds, so you're good. Kappa Kappa. Kappa Kappa? There's got to be... Someone must have made that emote already, right? A British Kappa that's Kappa Kappa or Kappa. I'm sure that's a thing. Hand over your British card immediately. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You've been wrong 2 games in a row. Like Granit compassed both games. It happens. It happens. Yesterday's games, I had someone coming in saying, oh, Chili Mountain's drafts are way better than Wild Hearts. And Wild Hearts drafts are just maximum chaos. And that's the issue. You're comparing the draft, 69 bits, thank you very much, Venus. You're comparing Wild Heart drafts to what you consider to be the standard drafts, and you can't do that. Wild Heart drafts just don't follow the same rules. They're like, what's his name? Mr. Mixapitolin? I think Mr. Mixapitolin from the DC Comics universe, where he's literally an imp from the world of imagination. He doesn't follow the same rules of reality that the rest of the heroes do, and as such, Wild Heart and the Mr. Mixapitolin of drafting, they just don't follow the same rules as everyone else, but they're still insanely powerful. And that's how you got to look at it. You can't look at their drafts in the same way that everyone else does. You have to look at it at a purely objective basis, not of here's what's working, here's what's meta at the moment. You have to actually look at it of what are the requirements needed for a draft. Do they have the wave clear? Do they have the engage? Do they have the peel? Do they actually have the damage to curly one? Do they have the sustain? Do they have which of these tools do they have and which ones make up for the ones they don't have? And you have to look at them objectively without paying any attention to what the meta is in order to actually have any chance of understanding a Wild Heart draft. It's a pain in the butt, but it's really fun. As a caster, I very much enjoy it. It's really fun to do. Remind everybody, if you're enjoying today's stream, we are waiting for the main stream to come back from one of their many, many breaks. Literally every 2 games, they're exhausted. So we're waiting for them to come back from one of their many breaks. So if you are enjoying my stream, where you get to chat to me in the meantime, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation to the stream using bits like we've had some of the wonderful people do here today, or subscriptions like we've had some of the wonderful people doing here today. Despite me not streaming in over a month or so, we are already back up to 51 subscribers in just 2 days. Thank you everyone so much for your support. I'm going to hopefully try to look to get to 100 subs before the end of the month. And as a reminder, I will be casting CCL live every other week. And that's every other week. I do have stuff I need to do on the weekends these days. So as such, every other week I will be casting CCL, so that is this week, and then after that, the next CCL I will cast live is on the 15th and 16th. But I will still be casting the games on the 8th and the 9th, but they will not be at the same time as CCL. They will be during the week, still live on this channel, but you will obviously have to try and avoid spoilers as best as you can, because I will be casting them after the official games have happened. So try and avoid that. If you want to avoid spoilers, you will have to wait a little bit those weeks. Oops, I hit the wrong button. What did I hit? Where am I? Where am I? What button have I hit? There we go. I found a blank screen on my stream deck. I don't know what screen that is. I don't know which one's blank for some reason. But there you go. Next week, I will not be casting the games on the weekend, but I will be casting... I snapped myself. I will be casting the games at some point during the week. So make sure you hit that follow button with notifications turned on so that you can tell when I'm casting those games. I also cast NGS and Heroes Lounge from time to time, and I will be casting something else hopefully quite soon. Feels good. So make sure you hit that follow button to see when those games are live, and if not, you can always watch them on VOD, video on demand, on youtube.com/Tetcher. You can also find out every time I go live by following me, hitting that notification bell on Twitch, or by following me on Twitter, where I always tweet about it, which is twitter.com/Tetcher. It's /Tetcher on everything. It's Instagram, which I don't use. I always forget about it, and oops, well. I'm good at promoting myself. But I'm good at a couple things, casting and making shows, and I'm not too sure about either of those. So here we go. Oh man, that has to be a sign-off in the future, where I melt myself. Oh dear. Hang on. Which table is it? I think it's this one. Okay. Yeah, who framed Roger Rabbit? Who has to be a sign-off in the future? It has to be a sign-off in the future. I was gonna do a who's a good one to do? Who's a good one to do for this? Mr. Caldor. I don't feel so good. That might be the most rubbish thing I have ever done. Feels good. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Alright, looks like the main stream's back from their break, so we'll hopefully find out what our map number 3 is in just a moment. Also, myspace.com/Tetcher. No, even I'm not boomer enough to use MySpace. I definitely embody several boomer stereotypes due to the fact that I'm very bad with new technology and stuff like that, but I also have the millennial ideals where I do try to learn and embrace them, and I like skinny jeans. I think they're nice. I have I like skinny jeans. They make my butt look nice. So hurrah! I do like those. Why does Gen Z hate skinny jeans? No one's ever explained this to me. Like, what is the logic behind that? Like, I understand that skinny jeans are an objectively bad piece of fashion. Why would you wear something that makes you less comfortable? But it's still weird, like, that they seem to hate it so much. Now I'm sounding real, now I'm definitely having, oh, kids these days don't understand what it's like to look fly AF. Oh, boy. Give us my map, please. Give us my map wisdom. Keep up, lads and lasses. We need to find out where map number 3 is so that we can get going. Feels good. I am bloody boiling. Once the draft starts, I will turn on my aircon and I will reset my aircon, because for some reason it just turns itself off randomly every now and again, which is very annoying. And I don't know whether... Wait, is that the remote? I was about to say I don't know where the remote is, but I think I just found it. I'm hitting it. Well, it had something on its screen and then it just died, so well. We have our map! Alterac Pass coming in. Feels good. Feels good. Ultrac Pass is going to be the map. Ulala, what's happening with Heroes Give Chase? Heroes Give Chase is on indefinite hiatus. The stress of running a streamed D&D game and trying to get everyone in the same room every week was becoming a bit too much to handle. There was too many times where people had to disappear. Schedules weren't lining up anymore. Everyone was getting quite busy, and as such, Heroes Give Chase was not happening. In terms of Heroes content, though, the Heroes Global Quiz will be back very shortly. I am finishing up the finalizations on the next episode, which I'm hoping will be a tag team episode, but I can adjust it to be a singles episode if that does not work. So Heroes Global Quiz will hopefully be back very soon. I need to just make sure that everything is right, and I find it's actually funny. I have myself to quite a high standard with that show. Excuse me. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Once again, hit follow on here. And also make sure on YouTube to check out every week, every Tuesday for Stormwatch, where Jixie and I will take it in turns to bring you all the Heroes of the Storm esports news. I mean, for example, right now, because not a lot of people seem to have realized it, did you know DreamHack is back in Heroes of the Storm? They are literally running an online Heroes tournament with qualifiers already open, and there's only 3 teams signed up. That is mind-blowing to me. There's only 3 teams signed up. We need to keep getting the awareness out there. It's an American tournament that's open to sign up for European players, so get on in there! At the moment, with just 3 teams signed up, you could qualify and win yourself prize money if you just signed up as the 4th team at this point. Because you could make it into the end playoffs and actually just get a win, get no wins, and still get prize money at this rate, as we do have our draft. Hooray! We are in, ladies and gentlemen. It is Ultrac Pass for game number 3 of Storm Esports versus Granit Gaming. Feels good, fam. Also, interestingly enough, that DreamHack had open applications for casters, where everyone could just apply to cast. I am one of the people who did. The person who is choosing the casters is very nice. I have high hopes. Feels decent. We're going to see Lucio banned out. Malfurion finally going to get banned out. Despite no wins coming in for the members of Granit Gaming yet, Storm Esports are sick and tired of Emerald Dream, so they're going to kick Malfurion to the curb. Support's getting absolutely bully. Are we going to see that Uther ban once again? Medivh's been let through both times so far, and neither team has to pick it up. There we go. Medivh gets banned out this time. Going to be seeing Varian as the final ban against something Granit Gaming have been leaning on very heavily. It's always fun to see the drafts evolve here. Storm Esports are the ones to actually be a bit more reactive this time. And they're the ones focusing on Granit Gaming stuff. Very exciting. That does mean Uther is going to be first picked here. That can, of course, be in that main tank role or that support role. Gives a lot of flexibility. Storm picking up a noob, and they should really pick Stukov here. They're not gonna. That does mean that Granit Gaming can now get that Stukov and get the go-to double support combo. If they do, though, they are opening themselves up to potential anti-heals from Storm Esports. This is Deckard Cain or Ana. Deckard Cain, 70% anti-healing with Emerald. Ana, 100% with anti-heal Grenade. They're going to start with Falstad and Sonya. They got that global potential. It's a very big map, and also a lot of burst and auto-attack damage to try and bully out that Anubarak. There goes Stukov. Storm Esports clearly not wanting to go that way themselves. Very interesting. Perhaps wanting something with a bit more cleanse. We'll have to see. Brightwing also banned away because Granit Gaming could still very easily run the Uther as a main support here. They've got a lot of flexibility. Very smart just to keep choking the supports out. In terms of high priority supports, we are down to Deckard, Ana, Karazim. That's about it. They're going to go with Deckard Cain. No cleanses available. Hogger's still very sensible as well. Tychus still available for Granit Gaming, though. They go for Tyrael and Ragnarok. So it is a solo support Uther, but in a 3-man frontline. 4 if you include Uther themselves. Very exciting. I think this might be a wave of light Uther because they're all melee and they're going to be just running in together. This could even be a Judgment Uther with the Sulphurous Smash and Leap, perhaps. All sanctifications, Sonya and Ragnaros will both benefit from that. And against multiple melee, Storm Esports, they grab themselves a Maiev. Get those resets going. Has percentage damage at level 4. Gives them a little bit of extra burst potential. All very reasonable. Let me set up the prediction. Start prediction. Who will win game 3? You have 1 minute starting now. The predictions have begun. Let's get this going as we're preparing to head into game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the end if Storm Esports are able to get a win, close this out in a 3-0. Or can Granit begin the potential reverse sweep? We will have to see. I can see on the predictions, some people still believe in Granit. There's still hope for Granit Gaming, according to the chat. Oh, there's a lot of votes for Storm just came in on that refresh. Oh, boy. Let's see if that faith is going to be rewarded as we are going to be getting ready to jump into game number 3 of our best of 5 series. Remember, this is not our final series of the day. We still have one more after this, so do not go anywhere after this series ends. We will have a quick break and be back with Oxygen versus 30k. For now, though, we have a game. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, Granit Gaming with Ty on Falstad, Ultralisk on Ragnaros, Skoog on the Tyrael, Henning on Uther, and Svagrota on Sonya. On the left, Storm Esports with Lauber on Nubarak, Dayquaza on Hogger, BBJ on Deckard, Kepi on Raider, and chilling down below, it is IB Tings playing that Maiev. Let's get this going. 2-0 in favor of Storm Esports, 1 away from full victory. Level 1 talents. Legion of Beetles this time. Much harder map to soak the globes on, so no regen master. More Beetles, more stuff to block skill shots. Can block the spear at least. Does actually give more stuff for Rag to heal off of. Rag go for a Blast Wave build, this is the standard these days. Tyrael go for the old style. Skoo going with the extra allied shielding. It is a wave of light, as predicted. Good stun by Henning there, trying to punish Lauber. They're going to go in a little bit aggressive, trying to chase him down, but Ty eats a lot of damage due to it. They're trying to get someone. Ultras, Blast Wave coming in. Does not find the kills, though. And Ty, in fact, stays a little bit far forward. Eats a lot of damage. Him and Kepi trading back and forth, taking a lot of damage each. And it's going to be Falstad. The first to die as IB Tings flanks in and gets the kill. Up in top lane, it's going to be another on the prowl for Hogger. First one this time. Skoo going to be holding against IB Tings. IB Tings right now absolutely outbullying Tyrael. And this Tyrael build gives him no self-healing. He has to rely on regen globes. He's not gone for that globe-based level 1 talent that a lot of people have been getting very popular with. In this case, he's really committed to that main tank style and the team protection style, as opposed to the self-protection style, getting that allied shield. Sapphire for Deckard. Basically, it's showing that those extra slows against melees will help out, but also going to allow him to go Emerald later on. Anti-healing against a big melee composition that's very much relying on Wave of Light as their only healing. Very sensible. Shielding potions for Deckard. Big dive from Skoog and Ty again, trading out for Kepi. IB Tiggs over the wall. Tether onto Ultralisk, using the terrain to stop the pull. Very smart. Ty in the wrong neighborhood, though. Isolated, killed, annihilated. Tyrael at level 4. Not going with the usual talent of Bound by Law. Stalwart Angel. It is legit full tank Tyrael. 25 armor on Tyrael when the Eldorad's Might is active and before he activates Angelic Flash, which is the teleport part of the Eldorad's Might. Obviously, you don't learn anything here. If you want really pedantic Heroes information, I am your man. Root lands onto Henning, takes a couple hits here. Holy Fire for Uther. This is the style of build you go when you go with that Holy Light Uther. You really just want to just walk forward and spam healing. Better barbs once again for Lauber. seems to be the go-to. Those extra slows, very helpful. The idea here was hopefully just to spawn some beetles to tank the objective and then try and sneak a channel early, but Skoog in position too early, able to prevent that. Instead, we'll see siege camps being traded for both teams. BBJ and Kepi grabbing theirs, Sonya soloing the side of Granit Gaming's. Aggro range, once again, exactly what we expected. Nothing too surprising from any of these teams so far about their builds. The standard these days, Sudden Vengeance, 6% max health damage to all nearby enemies on blinking with Spirit of Vengeance. Very sensible. No Emerald, actually. I am mistaken. There's that Swift Retribution for Tyrael. That is the standard stuff here. Attack speed and movement speed. Ruthless Spirit for the Maiev here. Each enemy hero hit by Spirit of Vengeance increases all damage by Maiev deals by 15% for 4 seconds, stacking up to 30%. So if she hits 2 heroes with that Spirit of Vengeance, 30% extra damage. Could be Dees here. And Deckard, I'm pretty sure that is the Canai's Cube, but I can never remember his cube names. I'm double checking now. It is Canai's Cube, so it's damage reduction. 30% for 4 seconds here. There is multiple melees. Good chance of hitting multiple targets with it. Makes sense. They're going to try and take out Skoog, which they will do. That's going to be the kill. Rag sieging away, drops the Molten Core, tries to be annoying. Rag's build has now taken a turn for a little bit unusual, going with that standard Blast Wave build, which isn't too unusual. The slow burn as well, but going in with blistering attacks here. Getting that 60% bonus damage as Kepi is focused down, will escape though. We're getting that 60% bonus damage with each hero hit with basic ability, reducing the cooldown by 1 second from 10 seconds. Allowing Ragnaros to get more stuck in. We would sometimes see a little bit of hand of Ragnaros, so getting that cooldown reduction on that Empower Sulfuris. But in this case, blistering attacks is going to be the go-to. So Rag missing a little bit of sustain, but trading out some good DPS for it. Still will help out, still means they're going to get some good burst. They can still build in to Tempered Flame, getting a big extra chunk of shielding for Rag. Can even turn that into Blast Echo as the game goes on. Uther bringing out the Cleanse now, Hand of Protection on level 7, Secret Weapon. Loba getting baited by Skoog there. Ultralisk also looking to delay, but it looks like Kepi will get the channel. Ultralisk came in to interrupt, but it was a little bit too slow there. I see they never took down the team comms. We actually asked them, the Clean Feed crew asked them if they could take the team comms off of the Clean Feed, and we were told literally impossible. Impossible to take off the team comm alert on the Clean Feed. Which is very interesting, but here we are. Level 10, as we do see the objective complete by Storm Esports. Also, we do have Sulfuris, but no Judgment. We're still going with Sanctification here. But we do have Sulfuris Smash. Does that mean we're getting Leap? We do have Leap, Divine Shield, and Hinterlands! Boom! Loba eats the damage, but is able to barrel charge away. Containment Disc for Maiev also buys them some time, so it's going to be Raider's Raider Containment Disc. That's a Lornado, baby, and a Shockwave for Hogger. Good options across the board. They're going to push their way in. Skoog able to teleport out using that Unstoppable from Uther. Last second of it to avoid the tether. Dequaza and Svemgrotta dueling away. Hogger has a reasonable matchup into Sonya as the game goes on, but level 13 is where Hogger's going to get a really good matchup into Sonya. So until then, it's going to be a little rough. At level 16, Sonya will gain some momentum back. They're going to dive in, looking for heading. Tether, it denied by the Sanctification as oh my god, you can Containment Disc that! We still lose Loba, but the stun from Ultralisk denied by the Containment Disc. I did not know you could Containment Disc Molten Core. That is new knowledge for me. But we still lost Anubarak. Loba was taken out. Granit Gaming will gain a little bit of momentum due to that. Siege Camp going to be taken for both teams once again. Sonya grabbing the side for Granit Gaming. Kepi and BBJ again. Exactly mirrored on the other side. 13. approaching a little bit quicker for Storm Esports. They did get 2 forts in that push. Let's see what they can do. The push coming in. Svangrotta looking for the leap, gonna be denied. Very fast reaction, even dropping a Lordnado just for safety. BBJ really making sure they're safe here. Cocoon dropped onto Uther, preventing any divine shields onto Sonya, who drops the leap. Hinterlands and Sulfurous. Kepi is annihilated as they turn around. Hogger, trapped in the wrong neighborhood, is able to sneak away. Root does not land from Deckard. Hogger coming back in, able to bait, able to delay. Very nicely done here. There's that level 13 for Ragnaros, that Tempered Flame. That's going to give them the sustain. A little bit of extra shielding. Well met for the Uther. Damage reduction there. Very smart, very solid builds for everyone here. Tyrael busting out the holy ground, trying to use it to cut off escape. Sanctification is dropped. Lordnado finds nothing. Containment Disc gets Loba out of there, and Hogger able to bounce their own way out. The disengage that Storm Esports has is kind of insane. How often they can just leave and get out of fights like this. Maya level 13 going with that shadow armor, extra armor when they come in with that blink. Very sensible. They go again with a very dive-heavy style, E-style build, meaning they need that extra protection. Loba backs away, preventing himself from getting picked off. Boss started by Storm Esports. Hogger, permanent bounce spot here. Really working their way through it, and they will be able to take this down. Good distraction, good delay. Very smart. Rag looks to scout top, but it's the wrong boss. Very cheeky here. Siege cap finally taken by Granit Gaming. Getting themselves a little bit of extra counter push. How aggressive does Storm Esports go with this boss? Loba, stun, body block, burrow charge, CC, cocoon, but there's nowhere to run. That is going to be some tier 2 damage in exchange for a Nubarak. The team running their way down here. Sonya clearing out and going to begin the channel. Holy ground, cutting off the escape, pulling them in. Sulfurous. Oh, containment disc. It's going to be enough to find the kill, though. Deckard still goes down, heading. Able to retreat away from Kepi. Kepi realizing they had no escape. Just tried to buy some time. Dequaza just used Hogwild. Has to wait a little bit for it to come back. Ivy Tiggs trying to buy some time as well. Able to blink away. Good stun. Second stun. That buys Dequaza a little bit more time. Here comes the Hogwild. Bounce for freedom. Has to cancel. We've bounced all the way back. Boss found his way to core, but it took down the keep. That's the important part. In the meantime, Sonya soloing the objective, and that will be acquired. It's a solid situation Granit find themselves in. They lose the keep. They hit level 16. They now have that percentage damage for Sonya. That's going to be really, really big for them. Tyrael, with Holy Ground now in tow, picks up the Heradric Reforging so that they can get that cooldown reduction. Very sensible. Granit has some team comps. The team comps are likely going to be, we're pushing mid, let's go. As Storm Esports, they set themselves up on the defense. Leap, Sulfurous, no Hinterland though. They still try to focus Loba. Lordnado zones away tired. Actually kind of traps Skoog a little bit here. The Lordnado getting value. Dequaza with Pummel rolls through multiple heroes, getting massive spell power reductions. Svangrotta's the one to die. Containment doesn't go down. That's a double kill. Going over to Storm Esports. Really turning the engage of Granit on their head. And Nubarak potentially not the best target to hard engage like that as it turns out. Hogger clearing out as best they can. Maiev saves top, and they don't even lose a fort. Storm Esports still holding a massive lead. Loba pulling back. Here comes the push. Sanctification was retreated from, but Kepi getting absolutely ate by Ultralisk. That was brutal. Fantastic flank. Very nicely done. Ty slowed. Not rooted, but percentage. Teva, here comes the bounce. Dequaza not able to find them. Remember, Holy Ground will not stop Hogger's spin. Hogger ignores all player-created terrain that isn't their own. This includes Force Wall, Entomb, and Holy Ground. They're going to start working on the boss. They're in their way through that. Boss going to be pushing in the top lane. This will finally be a fort by the looks of it for Granit Gaming. Able to try and get themselves a little bit of momentum back. Top's going to get pushed in. Going to grab themselves yet another siege camp. Just try and keep themselves in this game. From the side of Storm Esports, Decade bringing out the safety in numbers. Some cooldown reduction for basic abilities. Really smart here. 50% extra cooldown reduction with all that damage reduction is going to be really important. Those extra potions going to help out a lot. Makes a lot of sense. Get those extra shieldings. Means they always have the heals up to try and keep people alive. That extra armor. 10 extra armor for if they are the ones who are hard engaged on. It's a sensible strap. 4 did go down. As such, Granit finally on the board. Wave clear in mid lane. Storm Esports not choosing to contest the objective yet. They deal with the siege camp first. Lover trying to harass Ultralisk a little bit. Quasar coming in, trying to interrupt. Ivy Tings on the flank. They're trying to find their angle, and they do neutralize it. Storm Esports able to neutralize the objective at 33 seconds remaining. As such, Granit Gaming, they retreat back. They're more than comfortable to wait. They're close to 20. Free action being taken from that. Storm Esports, they need 22. They soak top. They soak mid. They're even sending a Nubrak to bot. They're grabbing a siege camp. Maximum soakage is the plan here. So what do we see? A boss, Loba, with map awareness, sees this happening. And the team's coming. They are actually going to try and contest this against Holy Ground, which is used. Big burst barrel charge is used. Leap on the counter side, hinterlands, but Loba tanks through everything. Boss is leashed. Cocoon onto Uther, going to try and blow him up. Here comes Tyrael. Sanctification, though, with the follow-up engage. Quasar takes massive damage, and that is not going to be a containment disc. Level 20, hit by Granit Gaming midway through the fight. They've got a heroic difficulty for Ragnaros. Ignore pain, redemption. That's going to be extra attack range. Nexus Frenzy for the Falstad and a Holy Arena for Skoog, who is focused down, rooted, stunned, trying to find the angle, but Kepi is getting zoned very heavily away. They're going to turn their attention onto Hennig. Remember, Hennig has redemption. He will be back in this fight as the turnaround fight is coming. Trying to find the kill onto Loba. Big spin. Loba gets the shield. He's chased down. So Grotta finds the kill. Traded 1 for 0. As Imptix is trying to turn this fight around. Tethers several in. Containment disc lands on Sonya. Kill by Kepi. Finds Falstad. As Sonya is now isolated. They try to finish her off. Anti-damage with that Cat Eyes Cube. Ivy Tings pulls them in. Leap is burned. Sulfurous. Ivy Tings leaps one more time, but is going to go down. Maiev is down. Uther has died again. They're healing as best they can. BBJ is kiting. Decade is a real tank now, baby. Lornado! Ultras barely gets out of range. Grotta escapes as we see Skoog dropping the Holy Ground to escape. The 2v4 coming in from Storm Esports. BBJ and Kepi zone away the rest of Granit. Granit still stay alive, but what an intense fight. Unlimited potions, bottomless potions coming in for BBJ. Hogger, no control. Duskwing again for Raider. They've got that rewind for Anubrak this time, and that Shadow Assault. That Shadow Orb for Maiev. A little bit of armor reduction. Boss is secured. Siege camp on the other side. Rag clearing top lane. Grotta going to be able to clear out mid lane, buy them some extra time. And Noob coming in. Everyone is here except for Hogger. They've burned the cocoon. They want the kill here, but here comes Skoog. They can try and sack this. Lornado buys time. They're holding it for the moment, so Furious hits no one. Quasar landed the pummel onto Sonya. The CC with the knock-up. Shockwave, no control. Murdering their way through. Time will die to Loba's burning beetles. Tyrael is down. Quasar is going deep. Gets the stun with Headbanger. getting tethered in, and Storm absolutely storming home. Boss on core, and Storm running into the door. Grotta knocked against the wall, stunned down, full team wipe, and Storm Esports take game number 3 and the series in a fantastic final series of fights. They are able to take the 3-0 in this best of 5 series. What a performance by Storm Esports. Granit Gaming, very ambitious, very admirable attempt to try and hold that together, but they did get shut out and were unable to claim victory in game number 3. Granit start 0-3. Storm will join the ranks of Simplicity and Wildheart at the top of the table. Very nicely done. Kepi, 85? I'm sorry, what? 85,000 hero damage? What game's he playing? Good lord! That's almost double anyone else in the game. Rag's the only one who's not double. That's mental. Kepi, what are you doing? How? Unbelievable. Ace in the hole. Absolutely destroying people. This is why he was targeted so often. But Kepi, absolutely eating people. Unbelievable. 13 kills to 10 at the end. Back and forth game across the board. But that is mental. Ridiculous amount of damage compared to anyone else in the game. I know there's a lot of split soak from Granit that game. Really trying to out macro. But it didn't matter. That is monstrous. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Feels amazing. Feels amazing, man. That's going to be game number 3. That's going to be game number 3 and our series, our first series of the day. But remember, we have another series coming up. So we need to make sure that you don't go anywhere because we still have Oxygen Esports. They're going to be playing against 30k. That will be our next matchup coming up after this break. Yeah, Reina go brrr, absolutely destroying people. That's awesome. One win for your favorite Ultimate Lordnado. Hell yeah, we didn't get the upgrade though. That makes me sad. I was hoping we'd get like the level 20 upgrade for Lordnado because that is one of my absolute favorite things in the game. It's absolutely fantastic. But this next series better get here quick, though. Hopefully, we can hope. Excuse me. But wow. What a performance for these two teams. Granit did look really strong in a couple of those cases. They did look like they had a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see how they grow throughout the season, if they can get themselves back into that winning position. They did win some series last season. They were able to beat out quite a few teams. They beat out Oxygen. I'm pretty sure they won the series versus Oxygen. I can't remember fully. But yeah, they found a way. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a break. When we come back, it will be... Hang on, I need to do a thing. When we come back, it will be match number 3. It will be our second series of the day. And we will be doing Oxygen Esports versus 30k. I'm not putting a timer on yet because I don't have a time... Excuse me, I don't have a timer on my clean feed. But stay tuned. We will be back as soon as possible. Don't go anywhere. Second series is coming up after this short break. See you all in a bit.